Hey, what's up everyone? Happy Sunday. It's Roberto, and this Sunday we are making one of my favorite sandwiches of all time, a BLT. And you're probably thinking, what's so special about that? Why are you wasting an entire video making a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich? Well, I'm making my own bread. And you know why this works for this season? It's because fall is bread baking season. So is winter, actually. When it's cold, it's good to stay inside and make your own bread. And I'm telling you, nothing that you buy at the store will taste as good. So, you know, it's, again, as I said, it's one of my favorite sandwiches. We're doing something a little bit interesting here. I'm going to make a focaccia bread. But first, let's put some bacon in the oven. Now the bacon's out of the way, we're gonna get started on the oil for our focaccia bread. Now the key about a focaccia bread is a lot of high quality olive oil and a lot of high quality fresh herbs. Now the best focaccia you'll ever have has some of the freshest herbs, and what I'm using here today, I'm using rosemary and thyme. Pretty simple, some garlic, olive oil, salt and pepper. Put those herbs in a cold pan with the olive oil and bring the heat up gradually. Now we don't want it to get too hot, we don't want to scorch anything, we want it to be very gentle and just infuse the oil with the flavors. Alright, now I already mixed some yeast into some water to get that activated a little bit. I didn't put that on camera because I have before in the past, but we're going to add some flour to that. We're going to create a sponge and we're going to let that rest a bit till we're ready to start working on the rest of our dough. Alright, bacon's all done. You're going to get that out of the oven. Now you're going to finish up kneading your dough. You're going to cup up about another cup and a half of flour. Throw that in your stand mixer with the rest of the ingredients and just knead that up until it gets nice and smooth. And you're going to save the rest of your olive oil for when you're traying up the bread. I'll show you that a little bit later. And as always, you're going to need your dough to rest a little bit, and we're going to grease up a large bowl, and we're going to get that covered with a damp cloth for about 2 hours. And now while that dough is resting, we're going to do something, which is probably my favorite part. We're going to make our basil aioli, and this is going to make your BLT. I swear to God, it's one of the best things in the world. In that, we just have garlic, lemon juice, fresh basil, 2 egg yolks, and a bunch of olive oil. Oh, and salt and pepper. right, crank your oven up to 450 and it's time to start traying up the focaccia. Now you're gonna take half of what's left of your olive oil herb mixture to line the pan. You're gonna get that nice and evenly spread out, and then you're just gonna dump the dough on top. And you wanna make sure you get it spread out into the corners, but the dimples, if you see, watch close, I'm pressing my fingers into the dough to get dimples, and what that does is it creates little craters to hold the oil and herbs in, and it just makes for a great texture, and I urge you to do this. Then we're gonna pour the rest of the oil on top, get that nice and coated, and let it rest again for another 20 minutes before putting it in the oven. All right, put that in the oven and we're gonna get working on the rest of our ingredients. So you know what that is: lettuce, tomato. All right, start plating that up, starting with some of the basil aioli, a little leaf of lettuce, some bacon, some tomato. Oh, and I got a secret. We frying some eggs for this. That egg yolk's gonna make the sandwich. All right, y'all, as I said on the top, BLT is one of my favorite sandwiches, and you know what even makes it better? Besides basil aioli, a sunny side up egg. It's one of the best things in the world. And the cross section, unfortunately, may have been a little anticlimactic, but I promise you, it didn't do it justice. You know, there was plenty of egg yolk to mop up with the rest of your sandwich, and you know, as I said, it's one of the best things in the world, especially you make your own bread. Come on, how could you go wrong? Anyway, thanks again for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I'm coming back next week with something even more fun and exciting. And don't let Monday ruin your Sunday.